What's up YouTube, and we are back with another Awesomoto vlog. If you can't already tell by the title of today's video, we are finally unveiling a new project for the Awesomoto channel, and it's going to be an entirely new build series that's going to be in parallel with all of our off-road GX470 content. So GX followers, don't be afraid, we're still going to be doing GX470 content, but we're also going to be throwing in this nice build series. If you're new to the channel, we do monthly t-shirt giveaways to subscribers for both Instagram and YouTube. So if you're Instagram and YouTube subscribed, that gets you 2 entries into the monthly t-shirt giveaways. So it's time for our monthly t-shirt giveaway. All right, congratulations and thank you for being an Awesomoto subscriber. I'll be reaching out to you soon to coordinate your t-shirt delivery. All right, so let's just jump in it and do the unveiling. I know a lot of you probably already know what this is gonna be. So let's just take the sheets off and we'll see what's under it. Wow, it's been a minute since I've actually looked under these sheets. All right, here we have it. We have a 1979 Honda CB750K. Now this bike is gonna be a cafe racer project bike. This bike build was voted by you followers back in a November of 2022 live stream that I did. I did a whole poll during a live stream saying that I really want to build a cafe racer style motorcycle, and of the poll, 100% of you said, go get a motorcycle and build a cafe racer. And since then, I had been on the lookout for the perfect project bike. And it took a while. It wasn't until May of this year, 2023. And I finally found the perfect scenario. And it is this beautiful 1979 CB750K. What's awesome about this bike is the 10-year anniversary of the Honda CB platform. So this color that you're seeing, this was the only color that was made for that year since it was a 10-year anniversary edition. And the interesting thing that's also unique about this bike is it is the first year of dual overhead cams. So we've got this awesome example of a motorcycle here. I'm just gonna grab the camera and take you guys around and show you some of these details. All right, so here we have it. We got already something we got to address is this ding here, and there's a lot of TLC type stuff that needs to happen to this bike, but of course this is the reason I bought it. I'm excited. I'm not going to reveal too much about the color, but we're going to do all the work here on this bike. Everything's going to be documented. Just can't wait to get started on this bike. I'm going to do a completely different color on the tank, and I've got this vision for what I want this to be. It's a pretty freaking cool bike. So I can show you here, this is the 10th anniversary markings on here. You can see the tank has got quite a bit of rust in it, but when I bought the bike, we took a look inside. The guy was able to show me that inside there is no rust. It is clean. He sprayed it with a conditioning spray that's kept it well all these years. So the bike is able to be turned over. One of the things that you'll notice here is the carbs are just kind of sitting here dislodged. They are not properly seated into place. The guy who I bought this from was a pretty cool dude. I was very skeptical at first when I went to buy the bike, just because, you know, you never know who you're gonna run into buying them anything off of Facebook Marketplace. So I was a little sketched out at first. This guy in particular just rebuilt these carbs. So the carbs are rebuilt and ready to be put on. So goal here is to do that, get things started. And obviously we got some rough tires here. They're actually barely holding air. The back tire here is pretty gone. So I've got a solution for the tires already in my other garage, so we'll introduce some of those details as we start the build series. But overall, I'm just so excited about this bike. This is so cool. One of the things that he gave me was some extra goodies that he had for the bike. So we got this crest on here for the CB750K 10th anniversary limited edition. Got some extra parts there that he gave us, and yeah, it's super awesome. Just can't believe I got this bike for a really good deal. Can't believe I found it the way I did. So I'm overly excited about this bike. It's going to be such a cool ride. I love the way it looks right now, and I've got so much cool stuff in store for this thing. Lots of custom parts that we're going to be putting on this bike. I also want to take a minute to just show some of the video from when I bought the bike, just because it was a little bit of a situation that happened. I couldn't get a trailer the first day, had to do a down payment with some guy I just met. So here's some videos so you can see kind of how the situation unfolded and how we're able to bring this bike home. I'm about to go buy a motorcycle that seems like it has a clean VIN. It's a 1979 CB750K. It's from some random dude an hour away on Facebook Marketplace. He has no title. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but I think I can maybe register the bike here in Florida. I may have to jump through some hoops. Alright, so update is I do not have the motorcycle in the back, as you can see. I could not get a trailer before the U-Haul place is closed. I found one last U-Haul place and they had this enclosed trailer, and I was trying to decide if it was going to be the right size. Once I realized it was probably close to the right size, the lady was telling me she was closing up. I just tried to do this all after work, so bad planning on my part, but I did confirm that I want the bike, and the gentleman was nice enough to let me do a deposit. So I gave him some money, got a bill of sale that we'll finish signing tomorrow. All right, there it is. It's official. Bike is on the trailer. Was able to get one today. It's the second day of doing this. Drove an hour again, but the bike is awesome. I'm so excited to get it home. Super excited to announce that we got a new project for the channel. All right, so that was such an awesome experience. The guy who I bought this from turned out to be an awesome dude. So the whole story behind this bike and how he got it. So his uncle was a motorcycle mechanic, and he had a shop down in Vero Beach, Florida. And this bike was one of many bikes that it sounds like he inherited from his uncle. And he had a garage full of bikes, so the fact that he was trying to do a whole bunch of project bikes in parallel to this one, and he was just offloading this bike because it was the one that was in the worst shape and needed the most TLC. So he decided to part ways with this, and I just happened to luck out to find him at the right time, right place. But I do want to say, like, the first thing we need to do with this bike is we need to first get it running, get some of the electronics working so we have working signals, and replace these tires because these things are shot, and I really don't trust riding on any roads with these. So I also think the brakes might need some work, so we're really going to have to do a little bit of TLC. But the goal here is to do as minimal as possible, because registering this bike in Florida may be quite a challenge, and I'm going to document the whole registration of this bike. We have no title because this bike is so old that, you know, having a title for a bike that's over 25 years old is actually just something that is pretty common not to have. So he doesn't have the title on this. He was willing to write me a bill of sale, so I at least have the bill of sale, and I got to go through some hoops to get this thing registered. Unfortunately, I think a lot of you who are watching this might know there's a Vermont loophole. And if you also know about the Vermont loophole, you may know that the Vermont loophole was just recently closed a few months ago. So what the Vermont loophole was is you could take any motorcycle or any vehicle, I think for that matter, 25 years or older, and register it through the state of Vermont. And what you could do then is, once you have the bike registered, you just send them an annual registration payment and you get your plate. And I thought it would have been kind of cool to have a Vermont plated motorcycle in Florida. I just thought, hey, I might just keep it that way. But once you get it registered, you can actually get a proper title for the vehicle. So I was going to go that route, get the proper titling, and then eventually transfer it into a Florida registered vehicle. But the problem with that is there's so much motorcycle theft happening that they stopped the loophole. They're no longer allowing you to register a motorcycle or any classic vehicle over 25 years or older without having the proper documentation. What that is, I need to look into it a little bit more. I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go the Florida route. What I've seen with the Florida route, it looks like you get your bill of sale and you get a police officer to verify the VIN, and they put this VIN in kind of like a database somewhere. They look for any notifications or history of theft or stolen related to the VIN, and if that comes back clear, it seems like I might be able to get this registered in Florida and get the proper title for it. So fingers crossed we can go that route. I also heard some friends recently saying that there's other ways you can go about it through other states. So I'm going to talk about all those details in a specific video where we document how to get this thing registered. With addition to that, you know, we got so many custom parts that we're going to be doing to this bike. I really want that old school cafe racer look. So I got some tires that I'll put on in another video, which I went with some classic style tread pattern tires because I really want to keep that classic look to it. That being said, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, and I can't wait to show you all the documentation of how I built it, how we addressed all of the issues we're going to run into. It's going to be a fun project along the way. I'm going to try to do every single bit of the work myself, from stripping the frame down to nothing, painting it. I want to paint the tank, hammer out this dent on the tank as well, and just really give this bike the love that it needs to be an awesome cafe racer. You know, these Japanese motorcycles were built like tanks and they're super reliable. So I'm very eager and excited that we can get this thing running. So in a later video, we're gonna get some fresh gas in the tank, change the oil, put new spark plugs in, and we're gonna get these carbs mounted up. And once we get the carbs mounted up and we get it started for the first time, it's probably not gonna run too smooth, and that's just because these carbs need synchronized. So I've got a carb synchronization kit, and I'm going to walk through all the details on how to synchronize these carbs. Overall, I'm so excited for a new build for the Awesomoto channel. If you're interested in this type of content and you're excited to see this motorcycle build, hit that like button or put a comment down below so I know that people are interested in this type of content. Like I said, this was voted on by mostly GX subscribers. If you're new to the Awesomoto channel, I do a lot of off-road GX470 content with a Lexus GX470 SUV that I have, but we're gonna be spinning in some new Honda CB750 build types of content, so we're gonna just document this whole process. I also have a Yamaha FZ07, which the bike's just a great solid daily driving motorcycle, so I don't really do a whole lot of modifications to that, but not to say that we won't do FZ07 builds in the future, but in general, what Awesomoto is all about is building something awesome and doing it yourself. And my goal for every video is to learn as much as I can about the modifications that I'm doing, enough so that I can teach you the steps along the way of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and so that you can follow these videos as kind of a how-to video series on any type of modification that you're doing to whatever it may be that I'm documenting, to really give you the ability to do stuff at home, do it yourself, save some money, learn from my mistakes and successes on the channel. Another thing, I just gotta do a plug for it because I'm trying to raise money for the channel, and that is Awesomoto merchandise. So we have an Awesomoto web store where we have all sorts of different Awesomoto gear that you can pick up. So if you're interested in supporting the cause, supporting the channel, head on over to awesomoto.tv and pick up some merch. As a reminder, Max and I are going to be at SEMA October 31st through November 3rd. We're going to be bringing you live updates from the Las Vegas Convention Center and all the latest breakthroughs in products in automotive technology. If you're not already an Awesomoto subscriber, I highly recommend subscribing both on YouTube and on Instagram so you can get live updates from all of the content at SEMA. In addition, if you're going to be at SEMA and you see Max and I wandering around the showroom floors, come say hi to us. We'd love to meet some of you. We couldn't be more excited about attending SEMA this year and representing the Awesomoto brand. All right, so that about does it for today's video. I just really wanted to do a quick reveal of the new project for the channel. This Cafe Racer build series is something that I'm so excited for. This is going to be a really cool change to the channel and give you all sorts of new content with motorcycles. If you're not already an Awesomoto subscriber and you're interested in this build or the GX470 content, hit that subscribe button down below to get updates every time I upload new videos. All right, well, I'm gonna end things here. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.